Taking the time to watch this video. We've got a special guest here today, our architect Gil who's going to tell us a little bit about the design and the project that everything's going on the golf course over these last couple weeks. We're here beside 5 Green Complex, and these bunkers were just shaped and prepped. So Gil, why don't you tell us a little bit about the architecture to the bunkers?
Sure, thanks Alex, great to be back here. The bunkers themselves, I think one of the things that the members will notice more than anything is that they're now set in the ground, like traditional bunkering. You know, when you deal with whether it's Dial Ross or A.W. Tillinghast, any of these great old golf courses, the bunkers are in the ground. And on the golf course prior to our work here, they all kind of sit up out of the ground a little bit and they don't have that connection. So you'll notice when you approach the bunkers, you're definitely going to be stepping down into them. And so the work that we're doing from a shaping perspective, you know, myself being involved and Seamus Maley, our #1 guy on site, is getting these things in the ground and plugging them into the sides of the greens themselves so they feel much more natural, they feel much more in concert with it. Does that mean they're going to be a little bit deeper? Yes, but they're not going to be overly deep. So we really feel like the new configuration fits a golden age golf course and will certainly fit the landscape out here. One of the things that we've also done, as you can see in the background, is we have stacked sod like they do in Scotland, a revetted edge to these things. So we'll give them that instant maturity, where you've got the third dimension being clearly defined by this heavy sod edge. So a lot of modern looking bunkers have that really sort of narrow sand and grass line, and they just don't feel like a lot of the great classic bunkers have that maturity that they've accumulated over time. In our process, we've always found that by stacking the sod in this fashion, it gives us that instant maturity. It gives us that third dimension right off of the bat. So those are pretty much the architectural features of the bunker, but we've got an awful lot of maintenance features as well, right, Jordan?
Absolutely. So the washouts that we've experienced in the past should be alleviated significantly. If water does come into the bunker now, it's going to come in on the low side instead of the high side. So if anything ever washes, if we really get a heavy rain, we might get a few washouts, but it'll be on the low side, so it'll be very easy to repair. As you can see in the background, the bunker has the gravel layer. So you put in the drainage. You can kind of see, I hope on the video, that the drain lines are bellied out. That'll help with some of the wetness in the bottoms of the bunkers. And then you put a 2-inch gravel layer over the entire floor. And the next step will be to apply the polymer, which will bind all the gravel together, lock it in tight, and it's still permeable. So it holds the sand and allows water to travel through to the drainage. So it should solve all of our problems.
So that drainage in the bottom basically takes the water out from underneath the bunker, whereas before we didn't have that feature, correct?
Correct. So even when we would dress the bunkers back out, the sand would still be very wet. With this new system, the sand should drain properly, never hold water, and play the way we want them to play.
That's great. Thank you so much, Gil and Jordan, for telling us a little bit about the bunkers, and we'll have more videos coming out in the future. Thank you.
Thanks.